Listen, with ceedee out and the offensive line banged up, what the Cowboys need right now isn't an instant star. It's an idea that changes how opponents defend you. Jaden Blue might be exactly that idea. You may have seen him in college lining up everywhere. A running back who spent a lot of time in the slot. A guy with genuine long speed and quickness who can catch on the move. That's the profile the Cowboys can exploit. Right now, defenses know what to expect from Dallas. They can crowd the box, attack the edges, and dare you to beat them through the air outside. If you slide a speed threat like Blue into the slot and into motion, suddenly those linebackers and nickel corners have new problems. You can run elongated handoffs, quick slants, jet motions, bubble screens that set the defense on its heels. And if Blue gets a seam, he turns those 5-yard completions into chunk plays. That's how you change the rhythm of a game when your top receiver is unavailable. Think about clock management, too. If Dak can hit a quick crossing route to Blue and keep the play finishing in bounds, you're chewing time and keeping your defense rested. That's huge when your defense is struggling and big plays are slipping through. And yes, I know there have been questions about his consistency and whispers about effort. But right now, this is the chance you give a young player to answer those questions on the field, not on the sideline. You don't have time to rip the whole offense apart and install something new. You have to pull answers from within the roster. Using Blue more often is a tweak, not a teardown, and tweaks are what win you those close games. Picture more 12 personnel packages where Blue is the mismatch in the slot while you pound with Javonte or whoever's in the backfield. Picture designed screens and quick reads that get him moving before the pass rush wrecks the pocket. Picture motion that forces the defense to reveal coverage and bite on misdirection. Those are small schematic shifts that make generational differences to a drive. Now I want to hear from you. Should the Cowboys give Jaden Blue expanded snaps right away? Type yes. If you want to see him in the slot and on third down, type no if you think the Cowboys should stick with veterans and wait. And while you type that, do me a favor. If you enjoy breakdowns like this and want more Cowboys analysis, hit that like button and subscribe to help us hit 16,000 subscribers. We're close and every new sub helps. Also, click the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown where I'll go into specific play calls the Cowboys should run with Blue. If the first part was all about why Jaden Blue could be the X factor, now let's get into the meat of it. How exactly the Cowboys can scheme him into this offense. The thing to understand is that you don't need to overhaul the playbook. What you need are smart wrinkles, little variations that give Dak Prescott easy options and keep the defense honest. And the first one that jumps out is simple. Line Blue up in the slot and use motion. Slot motion tells Dak immediately whether it's man or zone, and with Blue's speed, that's critical. A quick slant or drag route from that alignment works almost like a long handoff. Safe, quick, and designed to get the ball into his hands while he's already moving. That's where you put the pressure back on the defense. The second adjustment is all about personnel. Running more 12 personnel. 2 tight ends on the A field is a way to disguise intent. Defenses have to respect the run, but you still keep the flexibility of passing. If you pair that look with Blue sneaking into the slot or even running jet motion across the formation, you create hesitation for linebackers. Do they step up to defend the run or widen out to account for Blue's speed? That moment of indecision is where Dak can either hand the ball off to pound inside or pull and hit Blue in stride. It's not trickery for the sake of being cute. It's layered football. Screens are another weapon. We've seen the Cowboys struggle at times when the pass rush gets home too quickly. A well-designed running back screen to Blue isn't just an outlet, it's a statement. It punishes aggressive pass rushers and forces them to slow down. If Micah Parsons were on the other side, think about how frustrating that would be for an opponent. That's the effect Dallas needs to create. And here's one more wrinkle. Use Blue as a decoy. Line him up wide. Motion him across the backfield, and then hand it off inside to your power back. Defenses overreact to speed and motion. It's human nature. Even if Blue isn't touching the ball, he can still change the geometry of the play. That's where offensive creativity pays dividends, because it's not just about production, it's about presence. Now, let me put it to you directly. If you had to pick one play for the Cowboys to run more often with Blue, would it be the quick slant, the jet sweep, or the Yavin 12 personnel power run look? Drop your choice in the comments and tell me why. I'll be checking to see which idea gets the most support. And while you're typing, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're pushing toward 16,000 subscribers, and every click helps grow this community. We've covered the why and the how, so let's talk about the when and where, the matchups and game situations where Blue's skill set really tilts the field. First off, think about slot matchups. A lot of defenses stick their third-best corner or even a slower linebacker in that area, and that's where Blue's speed gives you an edge. If Dak gets him on a linebacker in man coverage, that's a mismatch all day. One clean release and you've got 5 to 7 yards before the defender even turns his hips. That's how you stay on schedule offensively, by stacking up those easy wins. Another key scenario is third and short. Most teams expect the run, so they stack the box. But sliding Blue into the slot or running him on a quick flare into the flat gives you a safe, high-percentage passing option that keeps the chains moving. It's simple football. Keep drives alive, keep your defense off the field. That's especially important given how shaky the Cowboys' defense has been lately. Now think about 2-minute drills. Defenses are gassed, they're spread out, and they're trying to protect the sidelines. That's where a quick-hitting player like Blue is dangerous. A slant, a shallow cross, even a quick swing pass can pick up chunk yardage while the clock keeps rolling. And when you combine that with a hurry-up tempo, defenses don't have time to adjust or sub out personnel. That's when you catch them on their heels. There's also the pass rush factor. If you're facing a team with a dominant edge rusher, the best way to neutralize them is with speed to the perimeter. Quick passes to Blue out of the slot or on jet sweeps make those rushers hesitate, because they can't just pin their ears back and crash inside. Every second they think instead of react is a win for the offense. And of course, the decoy angle. Even when he's not touching the ball, sending Blue in motion forces defenses to communicate, shift, and adjust on the fly. We all know communication breakdowns create busted coverages, the kind of mistakes that lead to explosive plays. So here's a question for you. Would you rather see Jaden Blue featured more on passing downs to exploit coverage mismatches or on running downs as part of creative misdirection and motion? Drop your answer in the comments and tell me why. If you want to see the Cowboys get more creative with their personnel, smash that like button now and subscribe to help us reach $16,000. Your support drives these conversations. At the end of the day, giving Jaden Blue a bigger role isn't a magic bullet. It's a calculated risk, and like any risk, there are two sides to it. On the upside, you're unlocking a player who brings speed, versatility, and fresh energy to an offense that badly needs all three. You're also forcing defenses to respect new looks, which can make life easier for Dak, the offensive line, and even the run game. When your top receiver is sidelined, sometimes you don't just replace him, you reinvent the offense around different strengths. That's where Blue fits in. But let's be real about the potential downsides. Blue is still inexperienced at the pro level. He'll have to prove he can consistently run routes with precision, pick up blitzes when needed, and hold on to the ball when defenders go after him. And if those whispers about inconsistency or effort hold any truth, then this experiment could fizzle out quickly. The Cowboys can't afford wasted possessions or mental mistakes, not with the margin for error as thin as it is. That's why it's critical for the coaching staff to give him opportunities, but also to hold him accountable to the standard of execution this offense demands. Here's the bigger picture, though. The Cowboys are not in a position to play it safe. With the defense leaking big plays and the offense trying to survive injuries, you don't win games by staying predictable. You win by finding edges, by taking calculated risks, and by putting trust in players who can change the pace of the game. Even if Blue doesn't turn into an instant star, the act of involving him forces opponents to prepare for one more thing. That alone can tilt a matchup in your favor. Long-term, if Blue does flash, the Cowboys may have to rethink their depth chart and future roster decisions at wide receiver. Do you trade for another big name, or do you let your young players grow into their roles? That's the kind of conversation Dallas wants to be having, because it means someone unexpected has stepped up. So here's the closing ask. If Jaden Blue breaks out and proves he can be that change-of-pace weapon, should the Cowboys still look to trade for another wide receiver, or should they stick with internal development and let their young guys run with it? Type trade if you want an outside addition, or trust if you believe in the homegrown guys. Tell me why in the comments. I read as many as I can, and I'll be featuring the best takes in the next video. If you liked this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're pushing hard to 16,000 subscribers, and your support makes a real difference. Share this video with a friend who argues for roster moves, and let's keep this debate going. That's the beauty of Cowboys football. Sometimes the most important answers don't come from the stars, but from the players waiting for their shot. Jaden Blue might just be the next one in line.